And good evening, my friends, all you masqueraders and Twitch raiders. I came up with that before Matthew Foreman raided. Thank you for the raid. And welcome to Chromatic Chimera, where the story is made up and XP kind of sort of matters because of the system we're playing. I am he known as Puddins, and welcome to the next episode of Bloody Portrait. Quick content warning, I dropped them in the chat really quick, but I can read them off too for those who are not reading chat. Please be aware of the following content warnings for tonight's game. We've got blood and gore, body horror, violence and death, satanic imagery, occult horror, cults, demonic possession, and corruption. It's gonna be a fun session tonight. Please notice that Kate, who plays Rosella, is not present. So we're gonna just have Rosella have kind of like said, F this, I'm going home. But joining me tonight are Anna as Giovanna, Chris, aka Bright as Ludovico, Noir as Davos, Mike as Enzo, and Liz as Letta. We're going to do a quick recap here, and then we'll jump right into things. So previously on Bloody Portrait, the family took the new day as an opportunity to set out to investigate the Patsy dagger that was left behind at the scene of Lenore's assassination. During the dreary day, the family set out to the Medici Bank to handle the inheritance paperwork and perhaps while there have a chat with Bianca de Medici. And while there, they met Giuliano, who handled their paperwork, and he was pretty excited to go after the Patsy, but a more rational, reasonable Bianca was able to parlay, and the party was able to use masterful social intrigue to reveal the dagger was lost in a gambling game at the Grasso Gatto Tavern. At the Gatto, the party discovered the dagger was taken by someone from the Priory, and that this lost bet was perhaps staged. They headed to the Priory, where the Prior, Gascoigne, took Letta and Ludovico into the boarded-up chapel. Within, they were met with heretical, horrible sights. Some sort of strange, I don't know, ritual. And with that, we find ourselves back at the De Toro Manor. We find Giovanna in the library. Candlelight supplies her with sufficient reading light. The smell of musty paper, kind of old books just hangs in the air. You have a mirror that was left out. It's reflecting light throughout the library in a dazzling display of color. And you kind of feel as if there's a strange presence passing over your shoulder, as if a shadow danced in the light. Looking over to the mirror, you see the strange spirit of a small cat-like creature prancing in front of the mirror.
Ah, you must be the familiar that Morak spoke of giving as a gift to all of those who follow him.
Yeah, the name's Belial. We don't got time for that.
Oh?
And he kind of like moves aside and gestures towards the mirror. And in the mirror, you gaze upon the ghastly sight of a humble house of God transformed into some horrific occult house of terror, and possibly, from kind of what you were reading, some sort of summoning ritual. The bleeding demonic bat creature crucified to the large cross looms over the chapel, spilling the blood into large basins below, being stirred by monks with large staves. Across the chapel, you gaze upon the horrified and shocked faces of Ludovico and Letta, standing next to a wickedly grinning prior. And that's what you're looking at in the mirror. It's kind of like all misty and stuff as you're looking into it, but there's obviously some weird magic going on with the mirror and your little Belial familiar spirit, who kind of looks like this little, like, mangy walking cat in, like, fancy, like, gold, garish clothing. And he's just kind of like, you see what I'm talking about?
Well, Letta, she can take care of herself, but the old man, kind of a toss-up. He's already a bit injured.
Yeah.
So am I supposed to step through this thing, or do I have to make my way over there on foot?
Whoa. We can't just go through an astral mirror. Come on now, Giovanna. You'll bet. You're smarter than that. We're going to have to get some stuff, put together a spell, and, you know, we're going to have to kind of cast a special spell to get them out of there if we want to get your friends out.
Very well, then.
I mean, if they are in immediate danger. Anyway, all right. Let me see. I have in my notes somewhere. All right, so you're gonna okay? We'll get to it in a minute. So are you gonna follow Belial around then?
Yeah, basically just follow whatever these spellcasting directions may be.
And he kind of starts leading you like all around the manor to all various places, kind of like just throwing shit around and looking for stuff. So I saw you was reading some of spell books. You learn anything fun? And he kind of looks back and gives like this wicked toothy grin.
A few things. And her eyes just sort of drift over to where the scythe rests in the room, the one that had been crackling with some purplish lightning energy the last time. Also getting a little bit better at finding ways to recover from injuries on the fly.
Mm, looks like old boss did a good job getting you to sign off in the old book, huh?
It wasn't easy. Well, I mean, it wasn't difficult. He had something that I really wanted, so.
Yeah, that's how we all end up here, huh? We all want something, ain't that the truth?
And what exactly is it that you want?
Power. And by serving mortals like you, I shall earn that power.
Sounds familiar, but what did he promise you in return?
Well, legions of demons for, conquering things like parts of hell, perhaps. Or perhaps I go to the fairy realm and depose that city court. Or perhaps not. Belial has plans, you'll see someday.
I am sure I will. Between that and my to come knowledge of the stars and the planets, we could make a good team.
Indeed. And so what is it you want, and what made you want to sign the book?
Knowledge of the future, not just where the stars go, what their origins are, knowledge of the past that gives us the ability to predict what is to come, the ability to influence and bend the future to our control.
Yeah, old Daddy Morax is kind of looking into something like that. You see, we're gonna talk about the moon sometime soon, but right now we don't got time for that talk about the moon. It's a kind of like a clandestine project of ours.
Very well.
Tell you what.
I'm sure he will have no trouble finding me when it's time.
And he kind of prances up onto a chair, onto a desk, and then onto your shoulder, kind of like swirls around your neck like a scarf, and his body somehow gets longer and longer as he swirls around your neck like unnaturally. And he's very like Cheshire cat like almost, but like imagine if the Cheshire cat had a lot of mange.
This is definitely a lot more comfortable than a demon tongue. I'll give you that.
Let me tell you something. Now think about your casting this little spell as sort of a test, yes. From Big Daddy Morax, yes.
A test?
Yes.
What, to prove that it's possible or to prove that I can do it?
To prove that you can do it, and that you do have what it takes to seek the knowledge and the secrets of the moon.
Very well then, let's get to it.
Aye, aye. And he starts like flipping through like an old book in the library and is just trying to find the page. We're gonna go back to Enzo and Davos. You've kind of Rosella's like, look, shit's going down. I'm gonna go let Giovanna know, and we're gonna try and make a move. Or she's just kind of like, I'm tired of sitting here waiting. I'm gonna go fill in Giovanna back at the manor. You two bring those two back safely. And she leaves, and you're kind of just left there. There's two other monks just kind of standing in the room, just kind of watching you, making sure you don't misbehave. But other than that, it just seems like the prior has kept your friends for a little longer than what is like a comfortable amount of time, where it's like, hey, I'll show you what's up. Like, he hasn't come back, given an update. Like, you think that like someone would have said something.
And so just gives Davos a little side glance and takes a deep breath. Well then, Is it just a bunch of monks around, or is
Just
there anyone else and someone different?
there's just mainly monks all around. Your group were the only ones who really were non-monks.
So, Davos,
Yes. What is it, Enzo?
I think it's been a little bit too long since Ludovico and Letta, the one with the prior, or whoever that Bendejo was. Um, I don't know. I'm starting to get a vibe here.
Well, you're only just now starting to get a vibe.
Yeah, that was a little bit distracted with all these weird looking monks.
How many do you think that you could kill in one go?
In one go,
Mm-hmm.
let's say 5. Good warm up.
5. That's a good number. And Davos goes, I think that I would start with that one. He walks funny on his back leg.
Surely you do not mean to insult me, says like this kind of burly looking monk. He's got like, he's got a club tied to his belt.
Insult? No, I only point out the facts that you have the stance of a man that would die quick by my blade.
And if that is God's will, then so be it. Is that a threat or a challenge?
I don't know. Ask your god.
And he looks over to the other guard. He's already got like the hand on the club, like, if it's a fight you want, how dare you bring it to a house of God?
Is that what this is?
We are many things, yes. Think of it less of a church and more of a library for the Lord.
Oh, so this would be a library of God. Where would God sleep in a library? Is there a bed for your God? Or does he sleep on the books, I wonder?
God does not need to sleep. God is all-powerful and all-knowing. He's omniscient. He's God.
Clearly, a pagan like me would not know more about your books than you, no? Did God not rest after he tucked himself out making everything? Or did I misread in your little book?
Look here, sir. If you're trying to anger us, you won't succeed. If you want a fight, just draw that fancy sword of yours and try us.
Her name is Rosella.
Oh, great. He named it.
So you tell me that all I have to do is draw this blade, and I get the pleasure of doing the final dance with you, huh?
He looks over to the other guy. You gonna take the other one? Nods.
Enzo, I think that one's talking about you.
Oh, I'm way ahead of you, brother. As I sort of slide the arquebus around, take off the underslung, point it at the other monk.
Well, our compatriots, I wonder.
The father, the prior, has them occupied with things that you are not to know. I'm sure you can understand.
So if you were to kill me, I'm curious, how would you go about it, friend?
Well, I'd hit you over the head with this here club until you stop moving. And then I'd hit you again just to make sure.
He's a soldier, Davos.
But not an artist. What a shame.
No, I'm not an artist. I'm a scholar first. But, fight a second. Our people, our order, are not accepted everywhere, and it is quite obvious that you are one such person who does not accept those of our open-mindedness.
Open-mindedness. Is that what the Christians are? Open-minded. Okay.
Perhaps not our forebears or those who sit in the holy city, but our order does more important work than the Holy Father, but he would never admit it. And he kind of gives like a little, like, cheeky smile.
You know, this conversation has been fun. Are you not going to ask me how I would kill you, friend?
Fine. How would you kill me?
He looks over to Enzo. Are you curious to know how I would kill him?
I'd be lying if I say I wasn't.
Well, Davos gets up. It would start a little something. I'm so sorry, y'all. Like this. He takes his sword out.
All right, so we will get back to that fight in just a hot second.
So sorry.
You're okay. It's okay, because now we find ourselves back in the horrific satanic chapel. Father Gascoigne stands next to Letta and Ludovico. Hot air passes over you in a rhythmic pulse coming from the large demonic bat creature, whose blood is being harvested in the large basins on the ground by the monks. Beautiful, isn't it? The true Holy Emperor has provided us with his task, and soon we shall reunite all of God's sheep, as was ordained.
Realizing that whatever passes for silence has fallen, Letta shakes her head a little bit, pulling her eyes away from the horrific scene and back to the father so that she can focus on something tangible that she knows she can kill. And what task is that?
Why, we are to bring his army here into Florence, so he can reclaim leadership of the Lombards, yes?
Pardon me, but could you specify, for an old man's sake, who you mean by his army?
The Holy Emperors, of course. He was ordained by the Holy Father. Unfortunately, it seems the Church has lost their way. But the Holy Emperor shall set them straight.
Onto what path exactly?
Could you repeat that, please?
Onto what path exactly?
Depends how the rest of Europe takes him and receives him. But from what I imagine, it will be conquest.
When he says Holy Roman or Holy Emperor, should Letta know who he's talking about?
No, probably not.
Okay.
Tell you what, I'll let you give me a education roll, and let's make that arduous.
Okay. Well, I've got pips in education, so I'll take that.
Yeah, at least you're not gonna have to flip the results then either.
That's good. Okay. Education. Do the thing. Sure not. Sure is not. Nope. Okay.
79 out of 21. That is going to be a big fail. Letta, there is... Who is this guy talking about? You have no idea.
Gotcha.
The ramblings of perhaps a delusional man. That's at least what it would sound. That's what at least you're thinking of when you're kind of combing through the memory banks.
And does this plan involve daggers in the middle of the night, brought to unknown homes.
Perhaps there's a larger purpose at play here, Letra, and I thought you and your friend here would be more receptive to such things. Perhaps I have been led astray.
What would I need to roll to see what it is what it is that they're building here? What is it that they're doing?
All right. There's a few things. If you have education, I'll take incantation. Yeah, I'll take education or incantation to figure out what the hell is going on here.
Yes and yes. I'll do incantation because that's better. 9 out of 71.
So, Ludovico, you're a man of magic. You kind of have a decent idea. You just kind of learned a spell like this, but just ramp it up to 11. This is definitely some sort of strange summoning setup they've got going on, and it's not gonna be pretty when they're done. At least if they're not on your side.
Sure. May I take a closer look, please?
Oh yes, of course. Gaze upon the work of the Lord. And he kind of begins stepping through this chapel, and as you begin walking through the chapel, high up in the shadowy rafters, you hear chittering from like bats. And you can you see these beady eyes peering out through the rafters. You see the you're approaching these monks. They're stirring these basins of blood. Ah, yes. Look, Ludovico. See the master's handiwork. And you look into this basin. You see this blood-covered hand just grabs the rim from the inside, and it's as the hand is coming up, it's skeletal, but then flesh begins forming around it as this skeletal creature that's got draconic and bat these serpentine and bat features with large leathery wings, dark crimson scaly skin. It's just clawing its way out of this basin, sloops out over the edge and slides onto the ground as this flesh is forming around it. And after this flesh forms around it, it bats its wings, spraying this blood all over the place, all over the monks who don't even react to getting sprayed by this blood. And it kind of looks towards you with this long serpentine neck with these large scaly bat ears, and kind of flicks more blood off, and it gets right up in your face, and you can feel its hot breath just
Interesting. Ludovico will dip his fingertip into the vat and bring up the blood and kind of test its viscosity, and then
all right, so as you put it on your tongue, first of all, you will incur a point of corruption. You are drinking blood. Ludovico, when you drink the blood, you're kind of overcome by this rush through you. If you're injured or perilled, move up a thing on the condition tracker.
Okay. Ludovico found some go-go. Let's go.
You have the Emperor's gift then, do you, Ludovico? And Gascoigne's just kind of watching, and you still have this demon with these just kind of bipedally standing over you, just
cool. Unharmed now. Yes, well, I guess I have one of these to for that. No?
What was it? What was that last bit?
I guess I have one of these to thank for that, no?
Not this creature specifically, but child of the night, yes. And, like, the creature turns away slowly from you, glares at Letta for a second, and, like, opens its mouth with these fangs are just dripping with, like, this oozy saliva. And it grabs a sword, like this regular, like, metal steel sword off one of the tables, and as it grabs it, it becomes engulfed in this green flame, and the blade begins to crackle as if, like, flowing green magma is moving throughout the metal of the blade. And the creature just kind of, like, looks back towards the prior, and then just kind of rests itself, turning the sword down towards the ground. And it's, like, glowing this sickly, radioactive, Cherenkov green glow as it just kind of stares at you, like a tongue will flicker in and out as if it's, like, tasting the air.
How many people are behind me and between me and the door?
So you have the two monks that are stirring. There's a ritual. You have a ritual caster who's kind of, like, at the altar underneath the big crucified demon. You have the prior, and then you have this big ass demon. You actually probably don't really have anyone between you and the back door, but it's closed. But it's quite a distance you'd have to cover. And this demon thing has wings and looks like it can fly.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. So Letta hasn't moved from where they left her as he goes.
Oh, so you're, like, at the back of the church then. Never mind. You're good.
No. Like, they walked off and basically, yeah, at this point, if Letta's standing out of pure sheer willpower, and
Alright.
as she sees blurrily with her one good eye, Ludovico taste whatever's in those cauldrons, I think she would probably turn around and lose her stomach.
Okay. At this point, I think is a good time to resolve versus terror, my friends.
Of all the times to critically succeed, I will take that.
Yeah, you're good. You do lose your stomach a bit, but you steel yourself on the inside. And Bright, you also critted with the match 55 out of 61. Ludovico, you are unfazed. Letta, you're losing your stomach because Ludovico, like, drank blood, but, like, you're remaining the steely resolve as, like, a demon just crawled out of a blood vat, right? And it might be, like, because you weren't really looking at it fully, perhaps. Ludovico, it's just because it's Ludovico, and this is just another day in the life, right?
Are there any markings on these machines, by the way, that they've got working? Any markings on the vats that indicate?
Oh yeah, there's, like, all kinds of runes. That's what helped you determine it was a summoning ritual, is, like, these infernal symbols and runes. There's pentagrams painted all over the place in, like, witchstone dust. It's
Is
just...
there any indication that they are working, like, for Morax, though? Or is it some other pagan deity that...
give me a folklore roll.
That's what I was trying
Folklore.
to figure out earlier. So can I help?
Yeah, you
it?
both can do that, yeah.
Okay, so we just roll individually?
Yeah, and Ludovico, take it easy, because you're, like, a cultist yourself.
Okay.
You're like one of...
What is that, just 10?
Plus
10
20.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, 31 out of 80.
Letta, you are not very familiar with satanic... Well, not this satanic cult, at least. Ludovico, they are not a cult of Morax, you know that. They don't actually really seem to have anything that would make them a cult of anybody. You didn't see any other imagery besides the stuff for the summoning, the satanic stuff for the summoning ritual. So they're not really a there's nothing that tells you they're with a demon cult besides the fact that they made a demon summoning ritual.
Yikes.
And then at this moment, we'll bounce back to the manor where Giovanna is flipping through a book with Belial just kind of standing there on the desk as you're flipping through this book. Give me alchemy, incantation, or education, whichever you suits your fancy.
All right. Let me. Probably incantation is going to be my best. I think I have 2 ranks in that now. I'm actually rolling physical dice because I have awesome shiny math rocks.
Hey,
which are beautiful.
Hey, I'm okay with it. I love my physical dice.
Just for Zweihander. So I need to beat 75. Oh, perfect. And it's a 71.
Oh, just there. So you're flipping through this book with Belial, just kind of sitting there, like flipping this gross, like slimy tale. And you find the page for the Astral Mirror. It's a modified version of the Astral Bridge spell.
Okay.
So you're kind of reading this text, and you learn that you will need to find sapphire, grind it up into a powder, and then you're gonna have to like lay like summoning runes in front of the mirror, and then spell out in blood like you're gonna have to like do like a blood thing over the top of the mirror to like open the doorway essentially.
Belial, blood's not going to be the problem. Where am I supposed to get sapphire from?
I don't know. What do I look like, a sapphire dealer?
No, but you do look like somebody who, if you want to open this door, should at least be able to help me out with a plan for it, no?
Well, yeah, you could probably get it at like a merchant, or I don't know, you got an alchemy lamp around here somewhere?
There's probably no time to go out of the house. I'm going to look around the creepy basement summoning dungeon, and also any place where Lenore might have kept jewelry or valuable things where I could maybe find something useful, rather than just show up at a merchant and drop a bunch of coin for a summoning portal.
Right. So
seems suspicious.
So you go to the secret pagan temple, and you're kind of going around there. There's really nothing else besides the idols down there. But then you begin going through the valuables, the family jewels, as they say. And you do eventually, you find some blue stone, like a necklace with a blue stone in it, inlaid into it. Give me either an alchemy or an education or tradecraft check on that.
Okay. Tradecraft is going to be better. Got to beat 65. And that's an 85. I'm going to spend a fortune to roll that again.
Okay.
Oh, that's a 4. Heck yeah.
All right. Yeah, this is definitely, that's a sapphire in there. All you got to do is bust that bad boy out and grind it into a powder.
That shouldn't take too terribly long. We'll take it down to the lab and get working.
Yeah. Hey, sorry you got to destroy such a pretty necklace. It's just part of the business.
Oh, of course not. As long as it gets me closer to what it is that I truly want.
Yes.
Well, it's going to pass away eventually.
Yes.
Giovanna is addicted to magic, by the way, now, in the 2 weeks interim, in case anybody forgot. So she's just very single-mindedly like, okay, we're doing a spell. I need to do this because I need to flood myself with magic badly.
So you had some of the fruit, huh? From the tree, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I had some.
Yeah, so keep eating that and your mind will be open to all sorts of wonderful truths that humans are not meant to know.
We'll see what happens after we finish with this summoning portal, with this mirror.
Yeah, there's a few apprentices I've seen their brains melt and whatnot, but I'm sure you'll be fine.
Yeah, truly only one way to find out.
Yeah, just don't accidentally open this thing into hell, okay? I don't want to go back there.
I'll do my best, Belial.
And he jumps up onto your shoulder, just like the gremlin stance on your shoulder, looking around with your literal devil on your shoulder right now. And you're kind of making your way through the manor. You're going...
It's like tick, tick, mortar and pestling with this, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you grind it up real good. Yeah. So, why the magic, Giovanna? What made you go down this route? I like to ask all my clients this.
There are very few things in this life that you can be certain of. And despite the fact that you can use, your religious belief and you can use the church to try and assure yourself of what is to come, there is no real assurance. There is no sight of what is yet to come for those who believe, nor for those who doubt. But for those who are willing to push beyond the boundaries of what is acceptable or considered acceptable by priests and clergy, there are secrets to be found.
Yeah. You see,
and I want that.
Yeah, those church bozos don't know a thing they're talking about. Don't listen to them. They're a bunch of bozos.
They know a few things. They certainly know how to play nearly the majority of this city.
Yeah, that's
all of
true.
The other duchies and kingdoms around here, for one thing, and that is power not to disregard lightly.
Yeah, and I was trying to tell the boss, maybe we get the hell out of Europe and try somewhere else. This place kind of sucks, yo.
Fair enough, but as far as I'm consigned to a mortal span of years, I have to make do with what I've got, no?
What if I told you we could change that whole mortal span of years problem for you?
I would ask you what he wants in exchange.
Well, you already signed away your soul. That's like the big one, right? I mean, you've gotten a look at the boss. He kind of likes the whole, skeletal, look, right?
Yes.
Follow me, Giovanna. And he kind of jumps off your shoulder and begins leading you towards, the mirror. I'll show you some, life beyond death. And we shall dance with death. After you prove yourself worthy to the boss, of course. And Daddy Morax. And he just floop.
I'll follow him.
And he's having fun making you kind of chase him around the house. He's kind of fucking around a little bit. And it's he's over here yeah, it's urgent. We got to get him out. And now he's running around.
And I think there's that disconnect too for her with being on the one hand, she really wants to just access this level of magic. And on the other hand, she's still kind of a kid that's just chasing after a pet in this big empty house.
Yep.
So the context makes it worse somehow, but she's just having fun with that.
And then we are going to go back to Davos and Enzo, my dear friends.
Oh boy.
All right, we're gonna pop up a turn order here because you're charging these monks. So I will gladly take some initiative rolls.
Mm-hmm. Where is that?
It is... Tell you what, I'll just have you two go first, and then the monks will go after you. I don't feel like rolling initiative.
Nice. Okay.
Sounds good.
I don't know. Initiative is just a process that is unnecessary that we don't need to do right now. I'll have Enzo go first since you've got the gun. You just tell me what you want to do, and it's your turn. 3 action points.
I want to pop a shot at his ankle.
All right.
In the hopes that he falls on his face.
So you're making a called shot, is that what I'm hearing?
Pretty much.
All right, so yeah, if you hit with this, you'll get to... It'll be difficult. You're going to take a minus 10% to hit with it.
So I'll be even. Awesome.
But if you do hit, you'll deal an extra 1d6 of fury damage.
Okay, sounds good. That is a 24 out of 50, so I hit.
That will definitely hit. Go ahead and roll damage then.
Is it 2 because of that now?
Yes, it'll be 2d6 and then plus your combat bonus.
Okay. So I roll the 1 for the first one, and then I roll the 6 for the second one.
So then roll
that
another
again.
6 and add that to the damage as well, because dice explode in this.
So that's 16 points.
16 points of damage. All right. So Enzo, you kind of like just take the arquebus, you sling it down, get the strap off, and you kind of pull the thing back, and you're like, as you're doing that, you're lighting you're getting the matchlock lit and all that. It's really just skillful. You've got these deft hands. Definitely, like, this is something you're used to, boarding other ships and whatnot, and just without even thinking, just tear into this guy's ankle with a shot. And you see his ankle just like kind of bust open, and he's just, oh, that's smart. And you definitely did some damage with that shot there. Davos, go ahead and take your turn.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go after the guy that's still fresh.
Okay.
I'm assuming that was the one with the club talking wild brazy.
Yeah.
I am going to take aim.
Okay.
I believe that's what it's called. Second.
Yeah, take aim. Yeah. Here, let me bring. Oh, we are on the action guide page. I was gonna say, let me bring you to that page.
And then I am going to attack.
Go for it. That is a 74 out of 62. That will not be a success.
I would like to use my fortune.
Sure thing. And then remember the Moonlight Sword.
Additional damage.
Yeah.
If I do that, yeah. There we go.
49 out of 62. That will hit.
Yep. So that's 2d6 damage.
And then plus your agility bonus, right?
Wow, that's awesome. So that's gonna be 11 total.
Nice. Let me double check my sheet here. So you run forward, and you have Rosella out, and you do an upward slash with Rosella, this masterful stroke, and the blade you catch it in like this bit of light that's coming in through a window, and it glows and hums with this magical energy as you bash the club aside and bring the blade in to get a wound in on this monk, and I'll get you for that one. That was
like as he talks to me, I just dig a little closer and I go, and if I were to kill you, it would start a little like this. And if there is a wound that I just put on him, it's automatically grievous.
Okay, yeah. So
and whenever I injure a foe with a melee weapon, I inflict 2 injuries instead of 1.
Shit. Nice. Yeah, he's gonna take an injury. Let's find out.
He's gonna take 2 injuries, and they're both grievous. Let's get it.
Oh, that's so dirty. Executioner's so dirty.
Executioner's so good. So fucking dirty. Here we go. Alright, hitting those grievous injuries. Alright. That is a 58. 58. Until fully recuperated, you cannot... you mess up as you dig in. You grab his hand and you wrench his wrist. And he's not able to use that hand until he gets some surgery.
That's my turret, my friend. But you see, this will make it easier for the whole, killing you thing.
And then the other injury you will inflict is a 13. Until fully recuperated, he cannot move as he's in pain. So then you take the sword out and you just slash at the legs. You kick him back and slash at the legs.
And see, now you are no longer able to move, which makes it so that I can kill you at my leisure. Does anybody see what I'm doing here? This is art.
And you have both these monks are just like, but now it is now the monk's turn. And the one that you just the one that you just stabbed, Davos, is He's going to attempt to disarm you. So that is a coordination test on the monk's part. And the monk attempts to disarm you, but you kind of just bat the weak club swing away. Just
Look at what his God has given him for defense. I don't think your God is on your side today.
And then, Enzo, you're going to be attacked by this monk. 56 out of 60 will hit, and you are going to take 11 points of damage. As the monk kind of like runs towards you, limps a little bit, and just clocks you upside the head with this club. How much does that move you up the old damage conditioner?
It doesn't even hit my first one.
Oh, so your armor just kind of, you must have a helmet on and just eats it.
I sort of just bust him with the end of my arquebus before he even gets too close. Like, oh, amigo, that's not gonna happen.
And we're gonna go back to our friends in the chapel after that first round of combat there. Ludovico Letta, you are in this chapel. This demon's just kind of standing there, just. You've got this large other demon crucified to a cross. You've got some weird monks going on here. They're not cultists, even though they're doing satanic summoning rituals. What's the move here?
So with that critical success, I'm going to take a bit of liberty here. Of my resolve. So having gone down on one knee to empty the small contents of my stomach, as I stand back up, I will attempt to spirit the Potsy dagger from my boot into my sleeve.
Oh.
Since it's blessed.
Oh, you've blessed the dagger.
Well, it was blessed before then.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was blessed before that.
That's right. I'm forgetting my own details. Don't worry about me.
It came pre-blessed. So, I am going to, and having it not been terribly used and then cleaned by myself, I know it's sharp. So I'm going to just move it, scabbard and all, see if I can move it from my boot to my sleeve.
I'm going to ask you for either a coordination or skullduggery check here as you're trying to do this sneakily. I'll even say, because you know, there's a lot, it's dark in here, I'll even give you a routine plus 10% chance to get away with it too.
Okay, so I'm going to do coordination because I do not have skullduggery and it's got a little asterisk and I don't want to have to take 10. Alright, and you said 10?
Mm-hmm. Woo! So you're able to do it. You slip it into the sleeve and you make it kind of look like, you know, you're finishing up emptying the contents of your stomach, and you're able to slide the dagger in and make it look like it's kind of like you're still dry heaving a little bit.
Yeah, and then I will straighten my knees back up and walk over to just behind Ludovico. And how tall is Father Gascioni?
He's not a very tall or imposing man. He's probably like 5'3", 5'4", and he's not very like muscular. He's not very imposing or intimidating looking.
Okay. Letta's going to, as normally Letta slouches a little bit to go unseen. She's going to straighten to her full height, bring her shoulders back a little bit, and kind of, you know, I don't know, stick her elbows out so she looks bigger.
Okay.
And kind of stand behind Ludovico, staring down at the father. What would you require of us?
Well, first of all, you'll need to get the Day Toro's affairs in order, providing us with more resources and knowledge, and to take away the only one who got close to touching the Emperor.
And who is that?
That would have been the Lady de Toro, but she's dead now.
What do the Potsy have to do with this?
They are merely pawns in the Master's plan. Don't you understand, Letta? By sowing chaos and discord, the Master is able to make his moves unnoticed, undetected. For was it not God who said he would arrive when least expected? Yes.
I will lean down to Ludovico and kind of whisper in his ears, while keeping eyes on the father.
Mm-hmm.
Can you run?
Feeling much better after whatever this is.
I'm gonna slip the dagger out of my coat pocket or my.
Before you do that, as you're talking to Ludovico, that demon that's just kind of sitting there that crawled out of the pot shoots over to you and begins just kind of
And so just to set the picture, so I'm standing behind Ludovico.
Mm-hmm.
This thing has moved from in front of him to where?
It's just kind of away from him and to the side.
And then the father is right in front of us, right?
Yes. And then the other monks are further back from him.
They sure are.
And then you also have chittering bats in the rafters as well. I'm super meta here. You're very outnumbered right now.
I will kind of pinch Letta's wrist for a second before she makes a move, because I can feel her hand like on my shoulder gripping. If I may, this is all very impressive, Father, but if I may confer with the rest of my family. They are stuck in the other room at the moment, and they know nothing of this, and I'm sure they would like to be in on the vote. Not that there will be much of a vote, mind you. I am very impressed with all you've accomplished here. It seems you've done far more than I could in such a short amount of time.
Well, that's because our Holy Emperor, ordained as he is powerful and gracious to his servants. And I merely humbly serve him.
It would certainly have to be. We merely wish to have the others see the light, as it were.
Fine, but before you leave, your hands, please. And he pulls out the ceremonial dagger and he slits the wrist and kind of takes some of your blood into like a little vial and like caps it, and it's like and he puts it like inside a little pouch on his side. Your turn now, Letta.
I know better than that.
I close my hands and I'm gonna cast Aegis.
Okay.
So that I stop the bleeding and take no further.
Yeah, if you don't like, if you
penalties.
want to stop it, you can attempt to stop it, but like this is kind of like you remember when you cursed the book. This is like his insurance that he's getting here.
Sure.
Letta, I can't let you walk away with this newfound knowledge.
You trusted me enough to bring me here. And I will just continue to stand as tall as I can and continue looting.
Give me an intimidation check. Let's see. I like that.
I cannot be intimidated, I believe.
All right.
That's this character, right? Where I cannot be intimidated,
Sounds
stunned,
right.
or knocked out. I am
That
immune to the effects of the intimidate skill.
nice.
Yeah, okay, so let's. Where's intimidate?
Should be under brawn, actually.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's different than D&D, where like D&D's like intimidates a charisma skill. Zweihander's like it's a strength skill, yo.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, yikes. Can I use a fortune
You
point?
can. It gives me more to use.
Yikes. One more try.
All right. Mark that down. That's 3 for.
That 35 out of 45. And then if I was imperiled or damaged, I would move up the tracker, but I am not. So.
My time. All right. Forgive me. You are open-minded, but I expect our secrets to remain our secrets. You know the Holy Father, the false one who sits in Rome, would not be approving of our work.
If I chose it so, he'd be the least of your worries. And I'll walk away.
Yes, he is the least of our worries. Your little family, on the other hand. And he kind of just turns around. And as you're walking out, give me an awareness check.
Oh, shit.
You too, Ludovico.
A what roll now?
Awareness.
Oh, there you are.
Fuck. Damn it.
Both of you with like a... both of you do not get a good look, but as you're leaving the chapel in this dimly lit green glow chapel, you look into the choir loft on your way out, and you see a silhouette of a cloaked figure standing up there, hand kind of on the railing, and they like turn around, and you swear you see like the glimpse of like a skull as it turns its head around, turns around and begins walking into the shadows of the loft above. And you kind of hear the bats chitter on your way out as you kind of step out into the early evening, dreary rain that has begun. And that's when we're going to go back to the chapel. I mean, not the chapel, back to the manor, where Giovanna is preparing this sort of strange spell with the familiar spirit. All right, so now we've got the goods. Now, shall we set up the party?
Yes, arrange everything in a circle, just so. And she's just kind of going through and muttering the steps under her breath a little bit of, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to place this here, we're going to do that there, get everything set up.
Look, love, I hate to be a bother, but where are we going to get blood?
Oh, well, I mean, as far as I know, mine's still good enough, no?
Yeah, I just didn't know if we wanted to keep cutting you up or not.
I mean, we could always just go drag out one of the corpses of the guards, but...
Ooh, corpses? We could always go kill a guy. I mean, that's always a good plan, right?
You
know,
sometimes.
Daddy Morax likes them fresh.
I tell you what, first of all, nothing is more fresh than one who is still alive to serve him. And second of all, let's not attract any more unwanted attention, just in case this doesn't go well.
Fair.
Just
sorry.
in case.
I think my stomach's talking a little. I'm getting a little hungry, and...
We can discuss that at a future time, because I will need to feed as well.
Well, I need to feed so I can have, fleshy form, so I can serve you, much at a better pace than what I'm doing now.
We will take care of that soon enough.
Yes.
But for now...
You and the boss are really smart. I like that about you.
Just, planning for the future.
So what do you think of the boss, man?
Well, I haven't really gotten too much of a chance to get to know him yet, but something tells me that's the sort of thing he's a little more willing to explain on his own time. if you know what I mean.
I was talking about your boss, Ludovico boss man, big magician boss of the house. He's the wizard boss of the house, right?
He's not my boss.
Well, he's
I
my
don't
boss.
know. Oh, really? Well, he's probably not going to like the fact that you're helping me out then, is he?
Oh, were you just talking about Big Daddy Morax there then?
That's what I thought you meant. I didn't think that you seriously meant Ludovico was in charge.
Well, he's the one who got you to sign the name in the book. He's kind of like your bishop, if we're going off of that shit.
Same shit, different day. Well...
Look, you signed, not me. You're the one who signed the deal. That's on you. You should have read the fine print.
Fair enough. Well, what do I think of him? Clearly, you realize that I did not think that he had the capability to be in charge of anything. He is strange. He keeps so much to himself that it is almost ludicrous, when it would be less jealous to perhaps share all of this sort of forbidden knowledge with others who are curious and trustworthy.
As you're
Members of the same family, I might add.
As you're like laying the sapphire, he kind of closes your hands gently in these like little grimy like paw claws, and they feel like you got like little crow feet like grabbing onto you. He kind of looks at you with like gooby eyes. Look, I know why the boss does what he does. The kind of knowledge you seek, you see, isn't really smiled upon by proper society. I mean, you're talking to me right now. My name's Belial. I am a demon spirit. So you can't blame the boss for being cagey. Perhaps he's the one who's got the knowledge.
Of course.
That you seek. Now, of course, we can talk usurping some other day. I'm always down for a good usurping.
You really are a cat, aren't you? I like you.
And he kind of purrs. You could say that. I take many forms. Oh, look, I'm going to tell you. After we're done with this, I'm going to tell you about the time I got drunk with the forest gnomes. Great time.
Of that, I have no doubt.
Was it 24 hours ago?
What?
Was it that 24 hours ago?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure I was there too, but you know what? Everybody has that one friend that's like, oh, remember that time. That's also yeah, I was there.
It's a little treat for the fans of the other games. I have a character who's like, that's his thing, where he's like, have I told you about the time I became the king of the ogres? And everyone's heard it like 100 times.
Yeah, it's like a dad story.
Right?
Like a dad story.
So Belial kind of helps you finish setting up, telling you this goes here, and then you can like smear the blood over the top of the mirror, and then he's just kind of standing there like, whenever you're ready, boss. I mean, not boss yet.
We'll get there.
Initiative.
We haven't... I'll make sure you're well fed after this is over.
Yeah.
And she'll start saying the incantation to herself, which I actually did write down. Ego consecro et benedictus tum circulum per nomine. And she's like muttering under her breath and opening up the portal.
So as the mist, this like blue mist begins swirling around the mirror, and like it begins like kind of, it cracks and breaks, and like the shards kind of float, and then they face again to create a mirror, and they begin like waving, kind of like water in the ocean, and they kind of begin then like swirling around like a bright focal point that gets created in them. And that's where we go back to Davos and Enzo. Enzo, it's your turn. You're fighting this monk who's just kind of charging you. You've shot him in the leg. Davos is over here just absolutely wrecking this other monk. There is bloodshed being had. The violence is happening.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and switch over. I'm going to put the arquebus like back on my back, pull out my cord sword, and I'm going to untie my bandana. And I'm going to go ahead and use a perilous stunt to dirty tricks him by wrapping around him real quick.
Yes. All right. Sweet. Give me that guile test.
Nice. I'm so good at it. It is a 12 out of 58 because I have Guile as one of my skills.
Nice. And then I have to. The monk has to, resist awareness. Is he even gonna? Nope. Okay, and he's gonna fail that. So Enzo, you kind of take your bandana and you twirl it around and you wrap it around his face, and he's like.
And then I lunge forward with my cord sword.
Nice. God, perilous stunts are so fucking cool.
So it's gonna be 48 out of 60. So that's
a hit. And he can't parry, he can't dodge because you've covered his face with a bandana.
Correct. That's gonna be 5.
5
plus 4, so it's 10.
Nice. So you as he's kind of stumbling around trying to get this bandana off his face, you really don't have to try too hard to hit him, and you're able to find purchase. He's not wearing armor, so it's really you're kind of cutting through this guy.
I sort of feel like that was a whole Zorro sketch that just happened.
Yeah, I love it. Davos, you're up. You've got this monk that you're just messing up.
Head or heart? I'm just circling him at this point. Head or heart? Which one, friend?
Take my heart. My knowledge shall live forever.
If you insist.
All right.
He is going to give the man what he wants.
Make that attack.
And I need to use one more fortune point.
Sure. That's a 4 out of 6 used.
I mean, I love using it with this sword, though.
Yeah, I did that on purpose. That was intentional.
Oh,
there it is. He's gonna attempt to parry.
Let's get it on.
Let's get it on.
Like, can he parry with his messed up hand?
Yeah, he's just gonna take a huge penalty to it. Is all.
Rock and roll.
He's gonna use his misfortune point to try that again. So then you get one back, and he still ends up failing. And Davos, what does it look like as you do what you told this monk you were gonna do?
I kind of imagine him. He's like on the floor, like trying to fight pathetically, and I take his hand and I go, "Shh, it's over now. Your God has left. Only I am here." And I just slowly put the sword in his heart.
Oh.
Go rest now.
All right. The other monk who is, he's able to whip the blindfold off, and he's going to make a move at Enzo at this point. And he's going to use a misfortune point, giving you another fortune point here, because he wants to try again. And no. He goes to try, and he swings out at you, Enzo, but you're able to, you kind of take your sword, and you just slap the club aside, and at that point the two of you would be able to he just kind of drops club and just starts running. You can take an attack of opportunity at this point because him running means he's getting back up.
Yeah, I'm going to immediately go for his Achilles this time.
I still have an action point.
Davos, you're not in range.
Gotcha.
I will go ahead and shoot my pistol at his Achilles heel.
Go for it.
I'm gonna get a call shot. Yeah, 8, boy.
Yeah, boy. You two are just fucking these guys up.
Just killing priests, baby. Let's get it.
How are we gonna tell the rest of the guys? That's a 6, so that is 15.
Enzo, you're like, take the pistol out as he starts running, and you start hearing him yell, and you're like, if I hit the foot, he might not die.
Right.
Headshot. So you two are standing. There's gun smoke all up in here. It's got that tinge of gunpowder. You've got these two monks, just blood all over the place as you two just wipe the floor with them.
Yeah. I definitely overdid it. Is there anyone in the vicinity? Anyone running around? Anyone see this?
No one's here yet, but gunshots are probably going to attract somebody.
All right.
Well, you said what, 5, right?
5 for warm-ups, but I mean, I could do 10.
I'm thinking that I might be able to do 25. This felt good. I got a little spring in my step, eh? Did you see how that one died? He was crawling. It was great.
I don't know what you saw in the world, but holy shit. For fuck's sake.
Things that you consider yourself blessed that you have never had to endure. But I tell you this. It's rare to find a friend that you enjoy killing with, and I enjoy killing with you. After this, we go get drinks, né? Maybe we find ourselves some pretty couple. We celebrate the matter the right way.
Bienvenidos. I am totally down for that. As he sort of starts reloading his next arquebus. So let's find our compadres.
Let us.
You two will.
Ludovico, Letty.
You both will take 2 corruption for your actions here. Killing, even though they are maybe cultists, you didn't have knowledge of that, and you just straight up murdered these monks.
The first night has changed his life, so
So we go back.
Has changed him.
We go back to Ludovico and Letta. You're both exiting the chapel at this point. The monks are really quick to close the door behind you, making sure like no one comes out and sees what's going on inside the chapel.
Are there any other monks on the grounds?
Yeah, there's quite a few on the grounds, kind of walking around. Some of them are kind of going. You notice a large number of them are heading towards the monastery area where your friends were left. Common sense would tell both of you that that's not good.
Well, I was gonna try to walk out of here like we weren't bothered by any of that.
This will be harder to explain.
But running is important, and I'm gonna take off. I'm gonna try to drag Ludovico with me, but I'm gonna take off towards the library. Like 6.5 foot tall strides straight towards that library.
You got it. And that's when we go back to the manor. Giovanna, your spell is going off. It looks like it's working. It's a success. And you got Belial next to you. He's like, it's working. I'm so proud of you, Giovanna. Big Daddy Morax will be pleased.
On the first try, too. I mean,
That's impressive.
I'm a little happy about this myself.
Yeah. So Giovanna, for successfully pulling off this spell, give me an incantation roll real quick.
Okay.
Let's see if it commits.
Here I go with dark magic. Gotta be a 75. 31. Oh yeah.
So Giovanna,
Thank you, shiny math rock.
through this experience, you kind of, as the spell's going off, the room kind of fades away, and you find yourself surrounded by these like glass shards of the mirror in this just kind of this void area. And they're reflecting light in bedazzling ways. This is very odd to you.
Well, this is different from where I anticipated I would end up. Do I recognize this place that I'm in at all? Like, does it seem like I'm in...
Give me an arduous folklore test.
A real location.
Give me
an... Arduous is, what, minus
30? Yeah, that's basically like the get a nat 20 to figure out what this is.
Oof. Okay, so I gotta roll under a 30 for this.
Yes.
Oh my god! I rolled a critical fail.
You got points.
You do have points.
All right. Yeah. Let's nope.
All right.
74.
Giovanna, there is no way of knowing what strange world, dimension, realm you're in. But the mirror shards, they all in a high-pitched ring begin floating away from you towards like the what would be up, right? And they kind of form an orb, just kind of orbiting. And with like this glowing purple light begins coming out of the orb. And yeah.
I was just gonna say, is this familiar from like the scythe when I cast that spell for the first time? Is it the same kind of
Yeah, a little
thing?
different. Yeah, it's a little different though. Because inside the mirrors, like there's just kind of like this long, slippery, just like elongated black hand that's kind of like just dripping with ectoplasm, and like there's just kind of tendrils that just dangle off of it. It kind of outstretches itself through these shards of glass, and it kind of it grabs one, and if you try to look into it, you just see tendrils, just kind of this writhing mass of tendrils within this weird disco globe of eldritch terror that is forming before you. And you just kind of get like this strange just chanting just kind of surrounding you. And the chanting is weird because it sounds like it's asking a form of a question. And it's like really not like words, but you get abstract ideas that it's like kind of asking like, do you want this power that I offer? I can create bridges. I am trapped.
Is this Morax that's speaking to me?
This isn't a form you know of Morax. You know Morax from the Minotaur bull skeleton shape.
Much as I am intrigued by your proposition, I am already consigned into the service of another.
Secrets, Cosmos. Your master, help show me you.
And who are you exactly? I wonder.
As it speaks, it's almost as if it's speaking in a chorus of voices. Instead of just like one person, it's like a whole chorus chanting, like almost like this weird eldritch Gregorian chant. I am it, imprisoned in the moon. I have secrets of the cosmos. For I come from a realm beyond your comprehension, beyond your God, beyond your devils. There is more to it than heaven and hell. For the cosmos are infinite, and you gaze into the infinite abyss of outer deep space.
And if I free you out of this entrapment in the moon, what is it that you require in return?
I do not require anything from you besides eyes in your petty world. And I'll need you to craft the nightmare. Giovanna is the name you are given. Is that what you wish to be called in my presence? Our presence?
It's only a name, but it's the one I've got, so it will do.
Yes, as you said, it is only a name. Yes. Well then, Giovanna, we bestow upon you this gift. And it, like, the hand opens up, and sticking in it is one of the glass shards, and it's just like this pale, oozing, pussy blood that's coming out of this eldritch hand that's just kind of in front of you, coming out of this swirling shard of just, yeah, just be not afraid energy.
She's gonna take it. Like, the player in me is screaming this is a terrible idea, but both the appeal to the moon and the secrets and all of that sort of astrological stuff that brought her down this path to begin with, she's gonna take it.
You'll take 4 corruption for grabbing the glass shard. But congratulations, you know a modified form of the astral bridge spell. The only thing is you need a mirror to do it.
That's all I want, really. Just more magic.
And as you take the mirror out of its hand, like, you snap back to normal vision, and all your friends are back in the room with you. And so friends, you begin running, and as you're running, mist kind of overtakes you, and you kind of, like, you're surrounded by, like, colors and hyperspace, kind of, where everything's just kind of going by. You just, and you kind of see, like, Giovanna just kind of floating there in this ether. And she grows closer and closer and closer until poof, you are standing back in the De Toro Manor.
Oh, all of us?
Yeah.
Nice.
Letta will look at Davos and Enzo, take a quick count of the room. Where's Rosella?
Well, you would know if you were not busy finding your secrets with your little Christian friends.
You're still simple. Where's Rosella?
I thought she was with you.
She sure was.
She sure was.
And the magic didn't bring Rosella back either, I'm assuming.
No, we'll find out where Rosella is next time on Bloody Portrait, but not now. We have other things.
Sorry that I was somewhere else. But
She better not be dead. I'm going to leave the Potsy dagger on whatever flat surface is available. Go find myself a bottle of alcohol.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of that.
Yep. Whatever the strongest thing I can find is, I think Junivere is probably.
It's all there.
Yeah, sure is. And I will bring back a bottle of wine or 2 and glasses for everyone else. But I've just got a whole bottle. It's probably like a third empty by the time I get back.
Yeah, that's fair.
2 minutes. It's not very long.
Well, you're lucky that you and Ludovico didn't have your brains melted, because that would have been 3d10 peril from that, plus 9 corruption if you fail a terror test. Yeah, terror is, like, nasty. So just to kind of go over some of the mechanics that happened there really quick. Giovanna, you casted a modified astral bridge spell. It's like their teleportation spell.
yeah.
Kind of leans into your whole Astra thing. Davos and Enzo fucked up some guards with some fun combat. And Ludovico and Letta, you kind of just didn't, you handled that well. And passed the skill rolls when you needed to. So we can go to a quick break right now, and then we will be right back with more Bloody Portrait. Stick with us. And we are back. Welcome, everyone. Thank you, everyone who stuck through the break. And don't forget, the chat dropped that sponsor link. Check out our wonderful sponsors. They have all kinds of cool things, from dice to gaming rigs to virtual tabletops to RPGs. And welcome back to Bloody Portrait. Our family stands safely in the manor thanks to Giovanna's successful ritual spell. Giovanna has learned a strange new modified version of the astral bridge spell thanks to some strange moon patron that Belial and Morax have both referenced to. So let's process everything that happened there, shall we? You're kind of like, the wine's been getting poured, everyone's kind of like catching their breath and kind of going through what happened. Like, yeah, okay, well, kind of going through the, well, Rosella said she was going to come back here, so she should be back at any moment type deal. So feel free to roleplay amongst yourselves.
What the fuck just happened?
So you brought us all back to the library, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck just happened?
Find it's better not to ask questions and just accept when weird shit happens.
So you had
More
gone to
wine?
the... Always. See, but you had gone to the priory. Was there anything helpful that we discovered there? Because what I saw was not... Well, not necessarily going to advance the interests of the family.
Well, Ludovico, what did you see?
So you
Perhaps I should tell this story, since Letta seems to be paralyzed with rage and fear, but we saw unholy atrocities that are usually for the dead or the gravely ill. It was a good time. They are building an army of creatures in a laboratory.
Hmm.
And I gather by Letta's reaction to everything that she did not know this was the case.
So
Let's
she's
be-
got her back up against a wall, kind of sitting next to a bookshelf, probably halfway through into a bottle of what would become gin in modern times. So she smells like a Christmas tree right now. A boozy Christmas tree.
Always make sure to unplug the Christmas lights overnight for that reason. You're doing all right.
Creatures that they were making, unholy, unkillable creatures, very similar to what took out our fallen mistress.
But aren't they monks, though?
And
Apparently-
truly, for Davos Lamore to call something unkillable means it must truly be a fearsome adversary indeed.
These creatures are not unkillable. They are just harder to kill than most.
That are supposed to work for all living creatures, and they are exempt from those rules. I am certain that if I were to stab you in the heart, Ludovico, you would die. And this is the way of it. It is the way that all things should function. That is the purpose of memorizing and being able to locate where one's heart is. I stabbed one of these creatures in the heart, and it did not die.
Don't be so sure, Davos. I sold my heart a long time ago.
And about that, I'm sure that you have been visited by our dear friend Belial as well.
You know Belial.
Yes.
Good for you. Good for you, Giovanna. I knew you would advance quickly.
Your assumption of surprise is a little more concerning, though. I signed that book willingly. I know what I wanted, but I don't appreciate being tricked into things that you have decided to keep secret from me for whatever reason. I'm sure it's a very good reason. I'm sure you have thought long and hard about this. But as I have pointed out before, you are an old man and my life is as yet beginning.
You don't know the half of it, Giovanna. Trust me, I have not done anything to you that you will not appreciate later.
I won't need to trust you if you just explain what it is that you are up to.
It is not my story to tell. It
Oh,
is our master's story to tell, and he will tell it in time.
Don't you get it? None of them are going to tell us anything. This idea that we are some sort of family, let wherever she comes from with this cult, and then Ludovico with his secrets, and even I
That's
don't know.
my cults. And I will put the bottle down and stare at Davos.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you have another cult?
I claim none of that, and all of it belongs in fire.
You seemed awfully concerned with the idea of me killing anyone there.
Because if this was home and you had touched one of them, I would have taken your heart without a second thought. Here, you're welcome to hunt as you please.
So you do not claim them, but you would protect them.
The ones at home are different. These have forsaken their vows and do not belong. These kill without reason. They
I like
sow
it.
chaos for no goal. They serve no one.
Oh no! That's see that is not true. They do serve someone. They serve the same person that you serve. They serve your Christian God.
No, I don't have a Christian God. To hell with him as well. He allowed this.
I don't understand how exactly it is that they can claim to serve a Christian God when in their hearts they know they are summoning things from the abyss beyond their control.
Their
It's
minds
only a
have been
smokescreen
warped.
as it is for so many things, truly.
Their minds have been warped by an emperor. They believe him to be some second coming.
I don't
And so
think
they
there's
follow him blindly. It is not their fault, Letta. They have been led astray. It is not your fault, for you did not know.
They were taught better.
I
You
agree
were
with
taught
you.
better. They clearly were not. And Davos, you cannot force your rhetoric down people's throats. You must let them arrive to it of their own volition, just like you and Giovanna.
And you should stop making assumptions.
And the sooner
That's
you
some.
come to terms with the fact that none of us are the main characters of the story, the sooner you will come to appreciate your position to make changes.
Ludovico, I am not so blind as the others to see you as a bumbling, foolish old man. I know that you have your ambitions and your goals, and I know that out of all of us, you might be the closest to accomplishing them than any of us. Surely you can understand that I have no interest in having tainted sheep in our ilk. Oh, this group had a poison shepherd. They were led astray. I do not care. It is Christianity. It is the belief that is the poison.
Davos, I am not asking you to have pity on them. I am merely asking you to understand the position Letta is in. And she must be allowed to discover the truth on her own. You may kill as many Christians as you like, Davos. I understand that that is your will, and it is one that I will not stand in front of you, and have helped you, if you recall, in accomplishing that mission.
To that end, you didn't kill Christians today.
I glanced down at the sword that he's got on his hip. Didn't I?
And at the mentioning of killing Christians, Mike, go ahead and give me the result on that awareness roll after you roll with the fortune there.
41 out of 41 right on the die.
Perfect. There's a
Nice.
flash of lightning that kind of strikes next to the newly found fruit tree in the yard. And like the window kind of blasts open. and just smoke kind of like mist rolls in, and there's these silhouettes of cloaked figures. Horns, they wear hoods over their heads, but there's horns that kind of come out the side of their head, and underneath these hoods, these two ghastly figures look up, and there's these blue flaming skulls. There's just these fire that just whips around their heads, and they're dressed like these old medieval knights, like pre-Renaissance knights, but their tabards, instead of having an upside white cross on their dark green tabards, it's an upside down red, like blood red cross, like painted in blood, and it's like streaking down, and you just, and they pull out these long swords, and as they pull them, they ignite with this blue fire, and the one looks at Davos. "What's the matter, Davos? Thought you liked killing Christians." Your mic is also muted there.
He looks at Letta and he goes, "We'll table this, yeah?"
And she'll sit down her drink, use the halberd to stand up, and just start walking towards him.
And the other one just pulls out the other sword as well. "Shall we dance then? The dance macabre, in the name of our Lord, the Great." And they move like the wind instantly. So we're gonna just have them go first because
I like these ones.
they're naturally undead. For the fans of the Zweihander system and those who understand the game, these are Fell Knights.
I'm about to have a bad day. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
For those who crave the violence.
Father, I crave violence.
All right, like just kind of like who wants to
Both.
go when in this turn order. I don't really care.
I'll go after they go because
All right.
they came in. Talk
I'll
wild
follow.
crazy.
Initiative actually work in this game?
What?
How does initiative actually work in this game?
So you like roll a d10 and add your initiative score, but it's a process I just hate rolling initiative in general. So I just don't
I.e.
usually do it.
I.e., who cares?
Yeah, i.e. There's rules for it, but I spent more time on other rules.
Then
Why do I have 2 fate
Oh.
points?
How did
So you would have one from your character creation, and then you probably also took a drawback that gave you a second one.
either?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, who wants to go after Davos?
sure.
Yo.
All right.
Go ahead. You're
Uh,
faster.
Letta, Enzo, Ludovico, and I guess Giovanna's gonna go last.
Giovanna's just kind of like, why can't we all play nicely in the sandbox at this point? Like, really? Now the third all-powerful entity is sending minions after us? I'm gonna wait back and see what happens.
So Davos, this Fell Knight that just there's just like this dark smoke that moves behind it, and this like blur of blue and black, and it comes up behind you. And the Lord said, "Those who lift up swords against him," and it hits you because he's used Champion's Call, "shall perish." Because Champion's Call says one foe is left defenseless to all of this creature's attacks until the foe is defeated. The creature may select a new foe once the current one is defeated.
So I can't parry that.
No, you're defenseless to this guy because you wanted the ultimate duelist. Here you go.
Let's
Let's party.
Let's
Oh, and he's also going to use the property of his weapon to do more fury damage. And he did 2 things of fury damage.
Oof.
Oh, this is gonna Davos. This is gonna hurt.
Oh.
23 damage total.
Okay, so my first damage threshold is 7. Then there's 13, 19, and 25.
So yeah, you just you're just down to wait. So the first one is hold on. So you said the first one's 27?
The first one is 7.
7?
Then it's 13, 19, and 25. My damage threshold.
Yeah, you'd go immediately to slain unless you use a fortune point.
Fuck.
It would be a fate point, actually.
Fate point, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Fate
Okay,
point.
well, I'm gonna use a fate point.
We will describe how Davos narrowly escapes death here. So like just and like just and you're just left. Like this sword doesn't just cut your skin. No. You would think you'd be bleeding, but when this sword goes through you, it cuts your soul.
Okay.
So like just and the other one is going to move towards Letta and is going to be like, the master gave you secrets and you plot behind his back. And he's going to use one of his misfortune points that he has accrued throughout this session, giving you another one. You have 4 fortune points to use, dear friends. And that's going to be an 8, so that will hit. And he's also going to spend an additional action point to deal additional damage.
I try to parry him?
Go for it, because he also got 2 Fury dice to go off on this. And if you want to not end up like Davos, I highly recommend attempting a parry. Huh?
Alright. Well, let's say use a fortune point. That's 88 out of 52.
Would you like to use a fortune point?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's try this again. Nope. I'm going to take this. Here we are.
All right, so this is gonna hurt, Letta. Yep. 29.
Fuck me. That's all 4 of my damage thresholds.
Would you like to use a fate point to survive? Letta will die. Will be slain if otherwise.
Yep. So I'm going to use that fate point. Okay, so you automatically go straight to slain if you hit all 4 thresholds in 1 hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's this game.
Yeah, that's okay. But I used a fortune point, so that moved me up a damage or peril condition track.
So does it? Do you have a feature that does that?
That's blood and sand.
Oh, yeah.
Then you're not slain then. Then you're good.
So whenever you spend a fortune point, you move up the damage and peril condition.
Yeah, we'll say you're grievously wounded. So roll me some injury. Roll me some injury dice there. That's a lot of them, I believe.
3d6.
Yeah, and any 6s will mean you're injured.
Okay.
And these are the nasty ones that don't go away.
Oh, fuck me. Why do you have to do this now, Roll20? When I want ones, you won't give them.
Oh, that's 2. Oh.
What is this? I rolled nothing but ones the other night. Nothing
57.
I'm gonna use physical dice.
So you've got a messed up. Your hand is injured in this process. Your primary hand. So that unfortunately you are not going to be able to use your primary hand, and you will be stuck to using your offhand until your hand is treated.
Okay, but I have a 2-handed weapon, so does that mean I can't have my 2-handed weapon at all?
Exactly. Unfortunately.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Okay, it's the second one.
Oh, the second one. Yes, let's find out what the second one is. Let's not forget. 84. Splintered elbow. Until fully recuperated, you cannot use one of your arms as in pain. So both your arms are, your hand and your other arm are just. So as like this Fell Knight just barrels into you, like with its like weird wind teleport move, just.
So for clarification, you're taking both arms from me.
No, the hand and the elbow.
Okay.
From the same arm.
From the same arm. It's not bilateral. Not bilateral.
45 seconds ago. Okay, perfect.
Sorry if that was confusing. There's a lot of stuff to read. So like you get slammed into, and then the sword that just attacks the soul just goes through you, and you are clutching yourself. You should be bleeding everywhere. It feels like you should be, but you're not, because again, the soul. Davos, it is your turn. You are trying to escape this fight masterfully.
Shiny math rocks. We're doing it. We're doing it. Okay, that was a 92. Can I use a fortune point?
Yes, you can. That only gives me more to use.
Okay, that is a 47. And my attack is 52. Oh, 62. Cool.
Okay.
So that hits. Alrighty. So that's gonna be 2d6.
Mm-hmm.
Double sixes.
Oh, so fury damage. Fucking A.
So both of those explode, so you roll them again and add that to 12.
Wait, what?
When you roll your damage dice, your 6s explode.
Yeah, so you have to you roll another 6 and add it to the damage.
So you roll both of those again.
That's how
you roll 2 6s.
Yeah, that's how the Fell Knight killed you in one hit, was exploding damage. That's how Letta almost got one shot.
Look at that!
Oh my god.
I almost did it again! I almost did it again!
So that 6 explodes. So
Oh,
you're
it does?
at like 23 plus
Okay, that's a 1.
Oof.
24.
That's a lot.
Plus 5.
So that's how much?
29!
So Davos, that's just
Wow.
enough. You take your sword and it glows spectacularly, and the spirit that the Fell Knight just disappears into a puff of blue flame.
Fuck that thing.
Anything else with your turn?
Is there like a defensive stance the boy can get in? I'm scared. I would like to move.
Remember, you've used your fate point. You might want to get the fuck out.
Yeah, I would like to move. Well, fuck, I can't. What'll it cost to pick up Letta and get Letta out of this?
The rest of your, like, you would be able to move to Letta and pick her up, and then you'd have to wait a whole turn to get her out.
Don't
Let her go.
bother.
Ever
Let
the
her
romantic,
go.
and no one barely notices. He's going to make his way over to Letta and pick her up and just point Rosella and like everyone is left.
Would you,
How
Letta?
many more?
To be picked up.
All right, so you go to pick Letta up, and she's like, "Do not pick me up." No matter how hard you try, she will not let you pick her up.
I will drag her by the leg. Then we are going.
Liz, is this something? Do you want Letta to get dragged out, or are you gonna try and like not get dragged out of here?
I'll have a bloody dagger in my sleeve.
Oh shit! You're gonna try and stab this man now?
Or am.
All right, make an attack roll against Davos. They're gonna just kill each other for me. I don't need to do anything.
He's trying to. He fundamentally can't leave somebody behind.
What was that, Liz?
I want to hurt Davos, but I don't want him to pick me up.
All right, so I'll just say like you can like just make like a melee attack and to like shove him off you.
Okay. Oh, it didn't take it. Give me a second.
No, you're good.
44 out of 52.
Yeah, Davos, you go to pick just elbow right in the right spot. Wherever the sword hits you, she hits it as well.
There's no point in us both dying. Let me help.
Good, like lambs to the slaughter.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
All right, Letta, it is now your turn.
I want to pull out that dagger from the sleeve of my now ruined arm and try to take a slash at him.
Yeah, go for it.
Throat.
Called
or-
shot? Okay.
Oh fuck! I'm gonna use.
You got 3 action points, so if you take aim, you get plus 10%.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to use a fortune point.
Sure, that gives me another one. I'm up to 5 here. That's not good for y'all.
Moves me from grievously wounded to seriously wounded,
Yep.
and I'm going to try and stab him with the dagger again.
Yeah.
And does that use another action point or the same?
No, it's just the same action point because you're using fortune.
Okay, then I will take aim.
Okay.
Or what does called shot do?
You get a plus 10 to hit.
Oh, okay. And so it's still that called shot. Fuck me. What is with this dice?
Ooh.
Oh my god. Okay.
So
Well,
you go to attack, and do they have a table for that, Anna? I don't remember. Do they have a table for I flubbed my attack?
I think so.
I don't know what
Let
page
me
it's on.
see.
I just don't want to be like, oh, you
I'll
accidentally
find
hit
it.
Davos instead. I mean, you already can't use the halberd, so like,
They have some that are tables for like explanations of how you kill things, but
Yeah.
I don't think there's one for I failed my attack.
No worries.
Alas.
Let's see. Letta, so you go to stab with the dagger, and this long cruciform sword just like shatters the blade of this dagger as the sword goes through it, as this fell knight parries your blow, and it leans in real close, dripping ectoplasm over you. I'm a paladin ordained by the church. Your holy baubles cannot harm me. Anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
No.
Enzo, you've got a gun. There's a fell knight that is looming over 2 of your party members.
I was hoping to take out my sword and my pistol.
Yeah, you can do that.
Later. Cool. I am going to charge the one that is.
Yeah?
Yeah, Enzo's super scared right now.
Rightfully so. This is not the everyday affair.
All right, so so I'll do my sword. There's a 13 out of 60.
That'll hit.
And then I will go ahead and roll damage. So that's 8 damage right there, but I will go ahead and use my trait, Salty Dog, to make a free attack with my pistol.
Go for it. Then I'll resolve everything after you're all done there.
That is a 38 out of 60. So
That'll hit as well.
Awesome. And then that is a 10 for damage.
So
19 altogether.
Okay, yeah. So your sword, at first you stick your sword and you pull it out, and there's like this wispy, ethereal blue energy that kind of, and you take your pistol and just shove it into the hole you made, just, and like this blue and smoky energy goes blowing out the back of this fell knight, and it like kind of wells up, its cloak billowing like, and kind of forms into wings for a second, but it doesn't take off, but it's just so pointing the sword at you, and it glows red for a second. The eyes glow red. I mark you, Enzo, Christian pirate, for death.
Shit.
Anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
No, that'll be it.
And that is him marking you. You will be defenseless to his attacks. Ludovico! My friend, there is some more crazy shit going down.
Sure. Did Davos take down the one that he attacked? Kill that one?
It's gone. Let's
Okay.
just say that.
I'll aim at a fresh one then.
Okay.
If there's any fresh ones left.
There's one fresh one left.
Okay, then I will take aim at that one. And he will say,
Mortis ad hominem fundat.
and he'll release one of the
Yes.
darts that he's got in his hand. And it'll
Yes.
zip towards the fresh one. I'm gonna roll my damage now, homie. Wait,
Yeah.
hold on. Incantation.
Yeah, you
first?
got
Do
an
I need to do that?
incantation at first. Make sure you don't crit
Ba-boom.
fail it. Okay, that's a
46 out of
success.
71.
Yep, that plus 20 is a nice little touch there.
Yeah, right. I gotta roll a d10. So let's roll a d10. That's 8 plus my 6, which is 14 damage.
Nice. Thank you for the raid, Angry Nerd Girl. Thank you so much. We're facing off against Fell Knights right now. It is a good time. And your magic missile, Ludovico, what does it look like when you... What does it like light up at all, or is it just super fast silver dart?
It is. This one is my first one that I've done in combat.
Yeah.
So this one's a little bit like haphazard. It's almost like lighting a sparkler for the first time. It's kind of like,
Yeah.
and then it like a bottle rocket. It kind of spirals haphazardly towards the target, but ends up hitting.
Yeah.
But it is the same color of light that everybody has seen coming from the book. It's this like sickly green,
Love it.
sparkly color. So it's like a copper sparkler.
Yeah, instead of letting off a loud whistle like a bottle rocket would, instead you kind of just hear like these as like this thing goes like barreling towards the Fell Knight, just blows
Like
up
a
in
Nerf howler.
Yeah, green and blue ethereal energy are mixing in as the shadow cloak just and it recomposes itself. And the cape flaps again, and the flames just burn more intensely, this blue, as the hood begins to kind of fall back to reveal like just this glowing blue skull surrounded in blue fire. You'll regret doing that one, devil worshipper. And is there anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
I'd like to back up as far as I can go, because I think
Sure
that'll be
thing.
2 of my 3 points.
Sure thing, and it's going to use the last action point that it has to spend a misfortune point, and that is going to give you a fortune point to move up 1 on the damage condition tracker. So it like kind of looks around and just fates. It pulls out a tarot card from like out of like thin air, like from the shadows, and it shows like 6 of swords, and it disappears and it glows like red for a second. Giovanna, it is your turn. You wanted violence? I am providing you with violence right now.
Always with these freaking swords. All right. So Giovanna has been busy while the rest of you all have been off running errands, and she wasn't kidding about the former house guards' bodies that had been assassinated. She didn't save just the head for Madame Curio, so she pulls out of a little pocket what looked like some sinews and tendons, maybe from like the hand of what once used to be a human body, and starts like making a little cat's cradle thing out of it while doing an incantation under her breath and just focusing her mental energy on this what was it called? Void Knight?
The moonlight presence.
The
Fell Knight.
The Fell Knight,
the Fell
yes,
Knight, yes.
the thing that's trying to kill us
Yes.
is what she's focusing on. Yeah, exactly. And I'm going to cast Skin Guest.
Ooh.
So I'm also going to channel.
All right,
So
so roll
I-
that chaos die.
Well, I got to see first whether I can even beat it.
True.
Which I think, hold on while I wait for my Roll20 tab to load. It's incantation plus. So I've got to beat an 85. If I can't do this. Woo, perfect. I did it. And I have to roll 3 chaos dice. 2 because
Ooh.
this is lesser magic.
All right, hold on. Let me
And
find
1
that.
because I channeled.
I need to find the chaos manifestation.
Don't worry.
page.
I already have it bookmarked because I
Perfect.
knew I was going to do this. Oh, but I didn't roll any 6s.
Oh, that's
So
good.
awesome. So as she's cat's cradling this thing, after successfully casting this spell, you immediately gain control of another. You bend them to your will, forcing them to commit acts they would not normally do. Although not truly charmed, they cannot defy your commands. They may speak as they normally would, and then they can eventually resist with a resolve test.
Sure.
So I am going to command this thing. Who still has a weapon up? Davos? Enzo. Okay. I'm just going to point at Enzo and then look at the Fell Knight and go, time for you to meet your maker, and make him run and just like impale his ghostly lich form onto the sword of the holiest person we know.
So is that your turn?
That's like 2 AP at least. So I'm just gonna save the last one in case I need it for something else. So yes, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna command this thing to run itself through.
And it disappears in a puff of shadow and appears next to you.
Oh fuck.
Only God can give me orders. And attacks you.
Great. Do I have a chance to dodge out of the way?
You can attempt to parry a 3.
No, that's not gonna happen.
Okay.
A
So,
3? There's no way. There's no way.
and he's going to use his sword's lovely feature. Oh, that's an explosion.
Oh no.
That's an explosion.
Oh no! How bad is it, Doctor?
24.
Hold on. Where's
You
my...
cowards!
I'm gonna use my fate point to prevent myself from being slain, because
That's
that's
fair.
exactly 1 over what it takes to kill me in 1 shot. So
We go to so blue flaming sword cuts through your soul, but we go to like smash cut where you kind of see like it's like you in the astral realm and this Fell Knight just looming over you. But in the astral realm, he's got like these large black feathered angel wings. And like he's not skeletal in the astral realm. He's like this glorious looking knight who's like angelic almost, standing over you with this bleeding cross tabard. And as the blade comes down, steel rings out as a mirror shard goes and spares your soul. And you see like tendrils kind of like begin wreathing around the sword, and the angelic Fell Knight in the astral plane. What? What is the meaning of this? And he turns around and pulls out a chain and sends it towards Enzo. Enzo, please give me a coordination saving throw. Well, not saving. Just give me a coordination skill roll.
That's a 35 out of 51.
So the chain like begins wrapping around you, and you take your sword and you like unwrap the chain from around you. And we'll go to Davos's turn. The Fell Knight looming over Giovanna, kind of like, it just kind of like, you should be dead.
Looking over Letta, he's just going to go, I'm going to come back and we're going to have a talk about your stubbornness. He's just going to limp over to Giovanna and he's just going to look at the Fell Knight. I am not done with you, Christian.
And its gaze meets yours. Davos Lemore, your sins is an ever-growing list.
Well, let's add a few more, huh?
And he turns around and like takes the sword, and it's like the blue flames lapping up. And he's just kind of like leans over. God won't be judging your soul. And the eyes begin glowing intensely red. The Emperor shall.
I rolled a 6 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
But I don't get the extra die damage.
Nope, sorry. So you wanted to miss, huh?
Yeah. I fucking love this dice. 6.
Oh my god. Yo.
5. So that's gonna be that is going to be 17. No, 16.
16. So your sword, and like Giovanna kind of gets a hand and rips at the skull, pulls the bottom jaw off, and it gives you just the moment to stab into it.
Say hello to your emperor for me, eh?
And there's just this ethereal shadow just pouring out, and he just kind of looks down, looks back up, and you kind of just the jaw isn't even moving, doesn't even have the jaw, and it just speaks. I do not fall as easily as knights who believe in the false savior. Anything else with your turn?
Fuck. He is going to move himself directly in front of Giovanna.
All right.
I think she'll just be like, well, that wasn't exactly the sword I was aiming for, but Rosella will do in a pinch.
Letta, it is your turn. So you kind of feel a familiar presence, a warm presence washing over you. Kind of as if someone's been watching over you. And it's not Davos or even anyone here. But you have a familiar sense. Someone you've come to lose that you may have held dear. You kind of are reminded of them. In this, like, during this absolutely chaotic moment where you're hanging on for dear life, quite literally. But, like, you swear you can see him kind of like in the corners as you're kind of frantically looking around the library of the manor where this battle's going down, the blood splattered on the floor. There's still that tranquil, just bright silhouette. It's not a silhouette, but just kind of like the light form of someone who feels familiar. You probably know who I'm talking about. No one else probably does.
Okay. What does that mean?
That's from you using the fate point to save your life. That's the explanation for that.
Use the fate point.
Oh, wait, no, you didn't. That's right.
I didn't have to use the fate point.
So, but Davos did. So someone else is watching out for Davos. That's it right there. Self-retcon. I'm good at these. This is what happens when you go off the rails and off the notes, folks. So what would you like to do with your turn, Letta? You still have this Fell Knight that's just looming over Giovanna and Davos, spilling shadow out of this, where this it's been stabbed and shot at.
Okay. And if this is too much, just let me know. So, Letta is drunk,
Yes.
in pain,
Yes, a lot of it.
hates everything right now.
Yeah.
And so I think she's going to charge the Fell Knight and try a takedown. If I can move and perilous stun at the same time.
Yeah, that's doable. Yeah, I'll say it's 2 action points to do that. Yeah.
Okay. So then, and I want to take him around the neck and wrench whatever spine he has forward with a knee as I pull his head back, if this works.
Yeah, go for it. And then he has to resist if it does.
So charge is just charging, and then takedown is a coordination or athletics check.
Yes. So you'll make either of those, and then he'll resist coordination.
Oh goodness. Did I break the chart?
Maybe. Maybe this is the dice gods telling you roll physical.
Sure is. Okay, so let me open my character sheet back up. Of course. Okay. So that would be athletics, which is brawn.
Yep. How many pips you got in it?
In athletics, none.
In coordination?
In coordination, none.
Okay,
But
so you won't add anything to it then.
my brawn is better than my agility, though. Okay, so I have to roll under a 45, is that right?
Yeah.
I think. Okay. 37.
So that's a success.
Yeah, 37 under or over 45.
All right, he's gonna burn a fortune point, bringing your fortune point total up to 3 to try another resist roll.
Okay.
If I don't drop all my dice. And that one will succeed. So you're about to take him down, and you're like, "Oh, I got this," and he just kind of and just appears on the other side of you.
So if that 35 works, it's make a constitution or coordination or athletics test if you charged. Foe must resist coordination or be knocked prone, but my attack still gets 2
Yeah.
fury.
Yeah, you still get the fury dice because it was successful. He's not gonna get knocked prone.
How many dice do I get for my fists?
Is it just your brawn bonus? Do you get fury dice for bare knuckle boxing? You might actually.
I don't know.
I think you do.
You have. No, blood and sand doesn't do that. Just kidding.
No, blood and sand doesn't. I don't think anything gives me fury dice, so it's just my brawn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brawn, but you do get the fury dice from the charge though.
Yes.
And that can still explode.
take down.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try real dice again, since they worked the first time.
As I said, he succeeded on the coordination roll, so he's just not going to get proned.
Yeah, that's correct. 6 plus 5 is 11.
Hey, Letta. So, like, he goes to... And you just turn around in a thing of fury, and you just punch this Fell Knight's skull straight off. And just it goes tumbling back and just... And it just it goes up in this thing of blue flame and shadow. As it is now, you find yourselves bleeding, maybe. Well, not bleeding, but in a lot of pain. Now the cuts are starting to really come out. Now you might find yourselves bleeding. But you're victorious over these Fell Knights.
Okay. So now that we seem a little bit safer than we were 5 minutes ago, I am going to collapse. He just falls down.
Enzo's gonna run out and look out the window to see what he can see while he's reloading.
As you're reloading, that fog, that mist, that kind of beckoned them. You just kind of hear a screech in the distance, and you see this giant bat on the skyline, and you see one of these Fell Knights riding it, and just kind of fly off into the storm clouds of the night.
Ay, Dios mío. I'm gonna close the window.
Enzo, he had nothing to do with it.
No, You're right.
In fact, probably the exact opposite. Letta, do you want me to send for Madame Curio? Your arm is looking in really bad shape.
I'm going to pick myself up from wherever I'm at, and leave the halberd on the floor, grab the bottle of gin, and sit back right where I was before and continue drinking.
I mean, that's the spirit for sure.
I tap her on the shoulder and I drop like a smelling salt for her, just in case.
I do have a way if you wish to heal from this without outside attention. However, I cannot promise it won't leave you unchanged.
Madame Curio can be called for in the morning. Let her have her rest.
Davos is going to get up and he's gonna walk over to the halberd on the floor, and he's going to walk over to Letta and go, "Respect, madam, respect." And he hands off the halberd.
I'll take it.
I meant no offense trying to help you.
I haven't taken anyone's help for a long time. I'm sure in the morning I'll apologize for whatever behavior happened tonight, but for now, I will continue not needing help.
No need to apologize. Respect. I see how you function. I see how you look. And I was wrong. Perhaps you're not the sheep that I thought you were.
I'll hand him the bottle of gin for his own drink.
He takes
Sorry,
a
I
sip
don't
out.
have anything better.
It will do. Hopefully I will forget this night. I hate admitting when I am wrong. He takes a sip, gives it back to you, and then he's just going to walk over to Ludovico and Gianna. He's going to sheathe Rosella, and then he's going to say to both of them, "I need you to teach me."
Gladly.
You can't be serious. No. That's ridiculous.
These creatures, they do not fight with honor. They do not understand or respect the majesty of the dance Macabre. So if they choose to attack the soul, if they choose to attack with these potent magics, then I will sell whatever needs to be sold. I will tear whatever needs to be torn. I will sacrifice whatever needs to be sacrificed so that I can live up to my name as the master of death. All death. You will teach me.
I know.
How many bodies are here?
Just two.
There's none. They.
Well, there were two, and now they're not here.
They didn't like collapse when they died. They just kind of went up in shadow and blue flames, like ethereal flame. So make of that what you will.
Enzo, real quick, is just gonna grab a bottle of wine to himself, and he's gonna walk out. And I'm gonna go check the yard. But he looks back at the rest of the party. I'll still die like a man, and he'll walk out.
Enzo, let's take a moment, you and I. Let's take a walk through the gardens here. So you're kind of walking through the gardens, the party's recuperating, and you find yourself kind of like in the hedge maze. Like you're in the secluded section of the gardens of the estate. And that's when you see one of the fell knights that you fought. But he's not brandishing his weapon. He's not hostile. He's just standing in the center of the hedge maze.
Enzo's have his, sorry, real quick. He has his hand on his pistol, but he's just walking, staggering towards this creature.
And the sword is kind of like it's unsheathed, but he's holding it like with it facing towards the ground in a very like knightly position, despite his very ghastly, lichy appearance. The only one still loyal to God. Enzo Rizal, am I correct?
Enzo sort of looks around, looks back at the estate. See?
You fight well. Your talents are wasted here.
No shit. I don't even know how much I'm getting paid.
Well, when the Holy Emperor and his work is completed, there will be nothing left for you to be paid. Unless you pledge your sword to him.
He reaches for the rosary that he usually always has on him.
And as you produce it, this like he takes out this like ghastly, ghostly, skeletal like lich slap hand and pulls out this rosary made from bones from like his belt. Our God is one and the same, Enzo. Why do you serve these heathens and these heretics?
These past few nights, I felt more of a heathen than I've ever felt.
Yes. Do you not wish to walk on the side of grace? In God's light. Gaze upon me, Enzo. Do not be afraid. For, yes, I appear dead, but the Lord has provided me this life beyond death, and our Emperor was ordained by the Holy Father in his infallible authority. And the work you do now with this family of yours goes against God.
Holds out the rosemary, drinks the last of the wine, throws the bottle. I will live and die like a man. If God is truly what you are, what you look like, whatever your intentions are, then I want no part of it. I drop the rosemary and I back away with my pistol out.
And the spirit doesn't move, just kind of like looks at the rosary you put down. You'll regret giving up the promises of baptism. I expected more, especially of a Spaniard. God will be disappointed. May Mary have mercy on you, because God won't, nor will his son.
I hope so too.
And it kind of floats slowly towards you. It doesn't even like, it just moves the hands away, and the sword just gets sheathed without it even touching the sword. And it gets up nice and close to you as it's like kind of moving out of the garden. You want to know more about our holy emperor? Seek out the painting. Maybe you will find your answers and find God's light again. Look around you. Christianity has enemies on every side. Do not throw your faith away.
Enzo gives him a stoic face and continues to back away and eventually walks away.
So you leave this fell knight, just kind of standing in the garden, and it just kind of disappears into the shadows almost. As suddenly as they were there, they're gone.
As Enzo walks away, it's the first time in a while since the first battle, one of the first battles that sort of hardened him, begins to grasp his hand. It's shaking, he's sweating a lot. A little bit because of the liquor, but yeah. He walks slowly back, takes a seat in the back step, looks up at the sky.
Do you put your hand in your pockets or anything at all during this?
I do. I usually go and pick up my coin,
Instead
rub on it.
Instead of your coins, the bone rosary's in your pocket, and you pull it out, and you don't remember the fell knight handing you the rosary, but you can't help, as you look at it, kind of think of the last words it said, seek out the painting. When you look at this rosary, it kind of like echoes as you look at it.
As I sit there looking at the new object that's now in my pocket, now in my hand, Senora de Toro, what is up with that painting? And he just sits there and ponders.
And I think that's a perfect place to bring tonight's episode to a nice close. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for episode 5 of Bloody Portrait Dance Macabre. People almost died. We will tally up corruption at some point next week. When you join us for episode 6, hopefully we'll get to that masquerade. But who are these Fell Knights? What the hell is up with the chapel still? And who is this Holy Emperor? Well, keep watching Bloody Portrait to find out a Zweihander actual play. If you're interested in the Zweihander system, I highly recommend following Daniel Fox on Twitter and checking it out for yourself. Anna can answer a lot of the questions, as you can tell. I rely on her a lot for the rules. It's a really fun system. I highly recommend it. And it's really perfect for like games like this. We'll go around really quick and talk about who we are. Don't worry, Pixie Rat. The VOD will be here after we're done, and we have a YouTube where we archive all of our videos. So if you like want to see all of the other Bloody Portrait episodes and figure out what the hell is going on here, quite literally, check those out. We'll start with Noir, who is playing Davos Lamore. Jesus, I need to go to bed.
You're all good, bro. Hello, I am Noir. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch as the Noir Enigma. I am playing Davos Lamont, the sellsword executioner who's had enough of this magic bullshit. So, so he's trying to find his magical Mr. Miyagi. You can find me tomorrow morning on Critical Misses, where we're doing morning ritual with our guest Nomadic and Eris Savard. You can also find me later that day jamming a spooky one-shot Terror in the Second City. Then on Sunday, you can find me over on my channel, Twitch TV / The Noir Enigma, where I'm doing Dungeons and Deep Dish, a one-on-one interview show that finishes up with a one-on-one one-shot because I really like saying the word one. You'll find out who our guest is tomorrow morning on Morning Ritual. Then on Monday, you can catch me over on ERP, where I am in Songs of the Deep, where I play a broody boy vampire who makes nothing but the best decisions. And you can help me get a gun hammer. Check out my Twitter to figure out how. And then on Tuesdays, you can catch me on LFM. I'm almost dead. I swear to God, I'm so sorry. On Tuesdays, you can catch me on LFM with Degrees of Madness. It's me. It's some puppety friends from Perception Studios playing a game of Call of Cthulhu. And then on Tuesday evening, you can find me on Madame Gandalf's channel where we're playing a cult game. Wednesdays, I sleep. Thursdays, I sleep. And then Friday, I'm right back here. That's it.
Perfect. Chris, aka Bright, it is now your turn.
Oh boy, here I go bragging again. Friday nights. Obviously, I am here playing the biggest dick this side of Italy. Saturday, tomorrow, you can catch me on Critical Misses. Noir is going to be running the game that I'm going to be playing in, and I'm going to fuck with him real good, and you should be there to see it because it's going to be a fun time. Sunday nights, I'm on my channel at Bright Dystopia. I haven't made plans for what I'm going to do because I'm a pro streamer and I don't have to do shit. And on Wednesdays, you're going to catch me and With a Brick doing the Party Mansion. This Wednesday, we're doing some Phasmo. I think it's the last Phasmo we're doing for some time. And that is it. I'm done fucking with y'all.
All right, Liz, with those dice turning around for you in the end.
Man, physical dice it is all the way. I'm gonna have to remember how to do math. So I am Liz. You can find me at Know When You Know Backwards. Let's see. I'll go through my week for you here. Let's start with I'm playing Letta. She is, I think, what this channel would call a tall muscle mommy that carries a halberd and currently has a disfigured arm. So we'll see what happens next. And you can find me the rest of the week. Tomorrow we'll be running Halloween over on our Discord channel with Dice Priori. Follow my socials. I will tweet it out so that you can see it. All under Know When You Know Backwards. And then we will. I am part of Strike Tales of Gashari on Wednesday over at the Dice Priory channel as well, where I play a ghost druid who wants to save her city, or save their city, and that is a lot of fun because it's built in the world of Edda, which is this fantasy steampunk world that we play in. Homebrew of our GM. It's amazing. Just come watch it. And then Friday I'll be back here doing Zweihander and punching things somehow more effectively than any weapon I've ever picked up. And it's going to be great. So join us back here this
Yes.
time next week. You can see all our faces.
Mike, yes, I see you with the people's elbow. Go ahead.
Hi y'all, I'm Mike. You can find me on Twitter at Mike Melody. You can find me on Instagram at DM_Jitterbelly. I currently run a game on Sundays at noon on the Just Roll with a Gaming group at twitch.tv//Joe Dirt. Hopefully, probably in a couple months, I'll probably do more content on there on the weekends. And then on Fridays, right now, I'm here playing some damn Bloody Portrait. What the fuck's going on? Enzo is super scared.
Yo, you dropping the rosary, though, that was some movie shit, though. That was some, like, movie shit. Just saying. Before we get to Anna, if you do like punching stuff, the pugilist class in Zweihander, mwah. Just, I'll leave that there. Anna, go ahead and plug your stuff.
I'm Anna. You can find me most places on the internet at Nymeria941. I'm, in addition to playing Bloody Portrait on Fridays, also a developer for the Zweihander RPG. We're currently kickstarting Flames of Freedom, which uses the similar powered by Zweihander engine, but the entire game is set in the American Revolutionary War. It's colonial Gothic. It's super spooky. So get your history on, get your folklore, mythology on, and all of that good stuff. Our Kickstarter is in the final days now, so if you want to go check that out, there is still time to back it. We have everything from the PDF that is like for people that, you know, are having a hard time because COVID is freaking happening, but still want to play games. And then we also have the ridiculous, like, all-in stretch goals thing. We've unlocked so many things, dice, maps, just all kinds of super cool stuff. Where else can you find me? Tomorrow, I'm going to be in chat and streaming all day with Encounter Roleplay. We're doing a Halloween charity stream benefiting Take This, which is a nonprofit that gives mental health resources and support to gamers of all kinds. So we're playing some Bluebeard's Bride, some Stille Nacht, and then I am going to be playing in Quietus, which is probably going to be one of the most grim games that I've ever played in. And I've played multiple Zweihander games every week now. So we'll see how that goes, but feel free to stop by, say hello, donate some money to Take This. If you have any to spare, that would be super cool. What else do I have going on? Dun, 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 dun. I wrote this down because I knew I was going to forget. Oh yeah, also coming up at the start of next month on Encounter Roleplay on Tuesdays, I'm going to be GMing a Flames of Freedom adventure. It's called Boston Besieged, and I'm going to be leading our player characters through a grim, perilous, colonial, gothic adventure that takes place during the siege of Boston. There's one last thing before I think we wrap up, which is I just wanted to thank Laura from Shiny Math Rocks for making me these beautiful dice. She made them. They're called Wine and Witchstone, and they're based off of a character that I played for a one-shot at Gen Con Online this year. And she just very kindly made me these dice and sent them to me. And also they glow in the dark. So if you like pretty shiny dice, go follow Laura. She's at Shiny Math Rocks on all of the places. And let it be known that for me, who traditionally rolls absolutely terrible on my D10s in Zweihander, rolled really well using these dice today. So make of that what you will, but they're great.
Nice.
Yeah.
And finally, I am Alex. I also second the Flames of Freedom recommendation. I have backed it at the best tier, so please go back it because I get more shit when you back it. You can find me on the internet at Mr. Puddins, Mr. Puddins. I talk about all kinds of things and maybe kind of talk about this game here. You can catch this game next week, Friday, same time, same place. We are kind of moving through it, but we still got lots to uncover. Wednesday, catch me on Madame Curio's Bizarre Bazaar, a 13th Age kind of fun episodic adventure. And if you do enjoy 13th Age, there's something else that is in the works at the moment that I cannot say much more on, but hype is real for it. Other than that, I want everyone to have a happy and safe Halloween, regardless of what plans you have. I'm probably going to be binge watching Bloody Portrait to try and make sure I've got all my story stuff straight. In that case, everybody have a wonderful evening. Have a happy Halloween. Let's go say what's up to DM Irene, who so wonderfully helped create the modified version of the corruption and quote-unquote disorder system in Zweihander. So go ahead, tell her hello, and I will be playing in a game on the Zweihander channel and that she will be running. It will be Zweihander, and it will be Blitzball. It will be a grand time.